All right, welcome back to the Bros Talk.
For this episode, we're going to do another draft, and in honor of Star Wars Month, and then the results of the poll we put up, we're going to do the best lightsaber duels.
Yep, nice. I say we just get started right away with this
Get started right away, and since I went first last time, I will let you go first this time.
This is something I've been looking forward to, so I'm ready to get going.
Yeah.
So, my first one, I'm going to go with Maul versus Kenobi in the Twin Sons episode of Rebels.
Ooh,
and
honestly, that's an odd one to pick.
Something I would put in probably like my top 5 of best lightsaber duels. Mm-hmm. And it's not really like a duel, but like it's like one of the quickest fights, obviously.
Yeah.
But Obi-Wan with versus Maul, like what a great rivalry between the two. Mm-hmm. You got Obi-Wan, Maul just going with a Western standoff type thing. Obi-Wan changing his stances from like the movies with Ewan McGregor,
to Alec
McGinnis, and to his last one, Qui-Gon Jinn, to mess with Maul's mind, to do the same thing he did to Qui-Gon, but doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm kind of upset. I wanted to take that one later. I didn't think you were going to take that first. But, I mean, what's great about that one is it calls back to the old Western Mexican standoff, which is what Star Wars is kind of based off of.
Yeah.
And the emotion in that is it's an absolutely beautiful scene and one of the best in Star Wars. I'm really glad you picked that early.
Me too.
I was gonna take that later, but I'm glad you took that early. But I feel like you made some mistakes taking that. But anyway, okay, so for my first overall,
first round pick.
Yeah, my first round pick. You were first overall.
Yeah,
my first round pick. I'm going to go my all-time favorite scene in all of Star Wars. It's Luke versus Vader in Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, the throne room scene. Mm-hmm. The greatest Star Wars scene of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The Luke coming in to face the two biggest threats in the universe. And it's the one way he can become a true Jedi is to face his father again. And throughout that whole scene, he's going back and forth between the light and the dark. And what I love about that scene is if you watch the prequels, you have so much more insight into that.
Yeah.
With the way Luke even fights and knocking Vader down the stairs and Vader recognizing it as like he's taking the high ground like Obi-Wan did. Same thing with him jumping up to the top of the balcony.
Yeah.
But also
like how Obi-Wan Darth Vader mentions it too, like Obi-Wan has taught you well.
Yeah,
it's
great. And then the best choreographed fight of this the originals.
Yeah.
And the way it ends with Luke kind of giving into his emotions and taking down Vader, but
cutting off his hand
and recognizing what he's done, and then in front of his two mortal enemies, one being his father, he decides to throw his weapon away and declare himself a true Jedi, like a person who's there for peace, and really puts a thorn in the Emperor's plan, which makes him a true Jedi and what the sequels failed to do with him.
Yeah.
So that's why the sequels don't exist in my eye. Right. But again, my favorite scene of all Star Wars, in my opinion, the best duel of all Star Wars.
I agree, honestly.
Yeah.
But, okay, going to the second round now. I'm going to go with Kenobi versus Darth Vader in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Okay. Not a great show in my opinion, but that final fight was absolutely
if there was less of like the Leia stuff and like the Inquisitor not being so like
annoying.
Yeah. If it was just mostly Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, which it was, but like when Darth Vader showed up in that one area when he was hiding from, that was cool. And he got to that. But going to that fight, I actually want to bring it up real quick, like the location where they're at. It reminds me of the Avatar: The Last Airbender fight scene.
It has
the big giant like rock pillars.
Yeah, it has kind of the same kind of feel to it. The background and
because Obi-Wan's waiting for Darth Vader. Fire Lord Ozai shows up, and Aang's waiting. Obi-Wan's waiting. Obi-Wan's throwing rocks at him. Aang's throwing rocks at Fire Lord Ozai. It's like the same thing. There had to be someone from the Avatar studio that made that scene happen, but. I love that scene so much. Obviously the relationship between him and Anakin, Darth Vader, like taking Anakin away. When Obi-Wan starts to like getting a little serious more after getting like really thinking about, I can't let him go just yet, and he like jumps, hits him in the face with his lightsaber. His mask is halfway off. One of my favorite part about that scene after that happened, the lightsaber colors are like changing back and forth. Like goes Obi-Wan blue, and when Anakin talks at one point, you can hear his voice. It's like blue a little bit when he says Obi-Wan, but then when he's like starts to get like a little menacing, it gets red. He goes back to Obi-Wan, it gets even more red, and Obi-Wan accepts that Anakin's gone, and that's what he's like in Star Wars: New Hope. Like Darth Vader has taken over; he's killed Anakin,
and he even like acknowledges it.
And he says
when he leaves him,
he says goodbye, Darth. He doesn't say like Anakin.
Yeah.
He says Darth Vader. He doesn't believe Anakin's there anymore.
Yeah. That was a great way to kind of bring it into the
Darth Vader
original
again,
Star Wars.
Darth Vader again, always screaming. He said, Obi-Wan just screaming so loud. It's Anakin's voice and James Earl Jones' voice mixed together back and forth, which I love.
Yeah,
the two best to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
I am shocked you haven't taken this yet. But
yeah, I know. I know.
Probably the greatest choreographed fight in all of Star Wars. Obi-Wan versus Anakin, Revenge of the Sith on Mustafar.
Explain it quick so we can get this over with.
I am shocked you haven't taken this, but the emotion of that fight is a beautiful to watch. It's a true masterpiece with, Obi-Wan facing Anakin after he's fallen to the dark, and the way it's choreographed, it looks like the lightsabers fight is sped up, but it's not. It's actually how they trained, and that's how they actually filmed it in that speed, which I think is amazing cinematography and directing, the way they made that fight, and with the backdrop of Mustafar, and then the way the fight ends. With Obi-Wan getting the high ground and taking Anakin or Vader out, and then Anakin truly becomes Vader by burning into the lava of Mustafar. So again, I'm shocked you did not take that at all, but I'm gonna take it since you left it on the board.
It's okay. I didn't enjoy the Obi-Wan Kenobi series that much, but I really enjoyed that fight a lot. And
it's a testament of how good that.
It's very underrated. I know Revenge of the Sith is the better quality Star Wars and like better fight. It has like best fight scenes overall with all the lightsaber battles. But it's obvious. I know that's the best one. I just think I like to bring up some underrated ones. All right, so that was your second pick, right?
That was my second.
All right, we're gonna go into the third one now. And I was like, I had one to start where I was talking about earlier. I'm going to change it up a little bit again.
Okay.
I was between like one with the Clone Wars and one of the movies. I'm going to go with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul.
Duel of the Fates.
Duel of the Fates.
Duel of the Fates.
Best, I feel like it's the best choreographic. It's probably close with Revenge of the Sith, but it's the first one. It's like the original. You got Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, just going at it against Darth Maul. Obi-Wan falls and like he's not there to help Qui-Gon. Now it's just Qui-Gon, Darth Maul going at it. Gets to that Rey shield room. Qui-Gon's meditating, just waiting to go. Obi-Wan's like a little more eager to go because he's like a young apprentice. He's ready to go. He wants to help. And Darth Maul just doesn't give a shit. He's like, come on, get this work, my boy. But then the shields open up and Qui-Gon, Darth Maul going at it again. Darth Maul does his little thing with his lightsaber, like he did. Stabs him in the stomach. Obi-Wan, you can't believe it. And then he just gets the perfect, like, quick fight, just going boom, boom, boom with those two. And then towards the end, jumps over him, cuts his body in half, leads into something great with Clone Wars, but
I feel like it's the way it leads after that with Maul coming back in Clone Wars and surviving all that, adds more to that fight. And did you see what Dave Filoni said about that fight in The Phantom Menace?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it adds so much more meaning to it, but what Dave Filoni said was, what's so important about that fight is it's a true duel of the fates.
Yeah.
Like, the winner of this battle, or who survives this battle, is the one that will raise and train Anakin.
Yeah.
If Qui-Gon didn't die, Anakin probably would have never turned to the dark side. Because what Anakin needed was a father figure and somebody that wasn't bound to the code of the Jedi Order. Somebody that was kind of a rebel, and a father figure that could raise him and train him to be the best Jedi that he can. But of course, he falls in that fight to Maul. And Obi-Wan takes on the responsibility of training him, which...
Obi-Wan was
but he treats him more like a brother than... And that's not what Anakin needed.
Yeah, because he didn't have a father growing up. He had just had his mom because he was the chosen one.
Yeah.
He had to be the one to destroy the Sith and being balanced to the Force. But he didn't have that father figure. And with his mother being gone, he didn't need a brother, just like you said. He needed a father, like Qui-Gon. And with him not with him being somewhat lower to the Order, but he has his own ways to do stuff. Obi-Wan was loyal to the Order. He wanted Anakin to be a part of that, but the way the Order treated him, Obi-Wan should have done something else besides just ignore that. He's fine. He should be doing what the Council says. Yeah. No, they shouldn't. He shouldn't. He should have went out a different way.
Yeah, that's why I think that it just adds so much more meaning to that fight in general. Which that's a really good pick. So that's a really good one that you took. All right, now my third round pick.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with my first animated one. Again, another one I'm surprised you have not taken. Do you want to guess which one that one is?
Ahsoka versus Vader, Rebels, Twilight Apprentice.
You're damn right. It's Ahsoka versus Vader in Rebels. Ahsoka, who's one of the best Star Wars characters of all time. She's really grown into that role.
You know what? Screw this draft. I like my underrated picks. I like my underrated picks. That's fine. You can have the popular picks. I can have the underrated picks.
All right. Well, let's see who votes for the winner by the end of this. Anyway, back to the Ahsoka versus Vader. A true apprentice meeting their master again. And Ahsoka distraught that Anakin has turned this way, and just they go all out with this beautiful backdrop. It's
the Sith pyramid.
The animation was absolutely beautiful. The music too was awe-inspiring and just absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna say it again, beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful.
The thing I love about when the fight ends, when what I brought up with Obi-Wan when he hits his mask in half, Ahsoka does the same thing.
Yeah, but it's on the opposite side of
but then
where Obi-Wan hit.
But you hear Ahsoka, you hear whoever did the Clone Wars voice actor for Anakin. I think it's the same one, but it's fine. It's fine. It is. We love him. But Ahsoka's Anakin, and you can hear Anakin still talking. But the part I love the most, he ignites his lightsabers. Ahsoka says I won't leave you, not this time. Darth Vader's well, Anakin actually is thinking, he ignites his lightsaber, then you will die. Yeah. Just like in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, actually, he says, then you will die. I love that.
Yeah, no, it just adds even more parallels. Because awesome.
I was trying to think of when he says, then you will die in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, I'm trying to think of something from Revenge of the Sith. Did he say that? No, that was when the Rebels he said that. I was oh, Dave Filoni, where you at?
Man, it absolutely, just again, and the way the fight is, the way they fight, and because Ahsoka's got her style, Vader's got his clunky, powerful style, and
she's quick and agile,
and every swing he has of his lightsaber,
he was so trying to go for it, boom,
with so much power into it, and the way it ends, you think Ahsoka might be dead. And then, of course, later on, you see Ezra pulls her out in future seasons. But, again, great battle.
Rebels is very underrated.
So much meaning, so much emotion. Yeah. And that's what's great about Star Wars duels and fights in general, is there's so much emotion into all of them. So that's why that makes them so great. And so that's gonna be my number 3 pick. Yeah.
So we're gonna go in the 4th round straight away. I already got Ahsoka versus Maul in the season 7 of Clone Wars, the final season, The Phantom Apprentice.
Ooh, that's a really good one. That's
one of my favorite Sith, like I said, Ahsoka, one of my favorite Jedis, top 5, I believe. Me personally, we get the great war scene with the like Maul's Mandalorians versus the 501st under Ahsoka's leadership, and we get this like cool ass speech from Maul explaining like why he's doing this, what he's trying to achieve here, why he's like even a part of Mandalore still, why he's still leading them. He wanted Obi-Wan to bring Anakin here so that he could kill him, because he knows Palpatine has a new apprentice and he knows who it is. And Ahsoka, like, Maul didn't tell her that yet with Anakin. He was like reaching out because he wanted help, but she asks, "I will help you, but why Anakin? Why do you want him?" Because he says he's the key to all of this. He's the key to ending what's to come with Palpatine and all that. Yeah. It's Lord Sidious, the way he says it. And we get this cool fight scene, and like through the throne room of Mandalore, we get to the skyscraper, and Maul's cutting off the like roof and all that stuff where she's standing on, and Ahsoka succeeds by defeating her. But then she grabs him with the Force, but he wants to die. He's like, "Let me go, let me die."
Yeah, we're all gonna die.
And
we're all gonna die.
The clone troopers come up to get him. It's like, "We're all going to burn. Yeah. You are all going to die." And it leads into another Order 66 scene, which they got to stop doing. But it's too emotional. They got to stop. But and it leads into something greater with Darth Vader finally showing up at the end of the series, leading into something special.
Yeah. And then what's also great about that fight is the way it leads up to the fight, where Maul is starting to sense like it's time, like.
And when he's captured in the ship?
No. Before, before
he
even faces off with Ahsoka, like he's learning like the truth of the clones, and he can sense like what's about to come, and nobody else can.
It's crazy.
And he's preparing for all that, and
that's why Maul's one of my favorites.
Yeah, so that's when he gets to that fight. It's gonna go all out from there.
Yeah.
And so that's another great choice. Great choice.
Yeah.
So my number 4. I'm going to go with... I'm blanking hard on this one. Because there's a couple options I can... I'm going to go with...
you might as well pick whatever you want, because you already won.
Yeah, that is true. I'm going to go with Yoda versus Count Dooku.
That's a good one.
Because Attack of the Clones.
With leading from Anakin and Obi-Wan. Yeah. Two cocky motherfuckers. Well, except Obi-Wan, but...
Yeah. But they get knocked down, and then you have Yoda comes strolling in on his cane, like, slowly but surely. And then
what up, Count Blood?
Count Dooku recognizes, Master. And then, Yoda drops his cane. And then they start having their little Force battle, seeing who has the strongest powers.
I really like that Force battles when they're not using lightsabers yet. They're just throwing shit at each other, like pushing each other like with lightning and stuff. I think that's so sick.
And then Dooku goats Yoda into pulling out his lightsaber. It's like, if we can't outwit each other with
our minds, maybe with the skill with a lightsaber.
Yeah, and then Yoda pulls out his lightsaber. It's
one of the most iconic like shots with Star Wars, like him pulling his lightsaber into the stance.
Yeah,
like you see it with like a bunch of like Star Wars clips and stuff that people make. You always see that one scene with Yoda,
and it's the first time we've seen Yoda in action in anything. And the way he fights was nothing you would have ever expected. Him jumping around and Dooku kind of...
Because he's always like sitting down. Walking on a cane, sitting on a little like ball that actually Grogu used to use.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting.
And again, the choreography of the prequels is top notch. The way these fights are, and it's just absolutely gorgeous and great action in general.
It's amazing.
And even though Attack of the Clones is probably the worst of the prequels because of the cheesy dialogue.
I still enjoy it if there wasn't the Padme and Anakin crap.
Sand. I hate sand.
Because like the with dialogue with Yoda and Dooku, that was good. The dialogue with Obi-Wan and Dooku, just keep Dooku in every scene. How about that?
Yeah.
Because the dialogue with them is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like the son with Obi-Wan and Anakin's okay, but you can like tell with Hayden Christensen's like dialogue.
Yeah.
It's not his fault.
It's not his fault.
Dialogue.
He was given terrible dialogue.
Yeah, but that's something to talk about like for a long. Like,
it just makes you think like,
why?
Like why? Like why?
It's fine. It's
like
fine.
Padme's they're talking about this beach or whatever, and then Anakin's just like
sand. I don't like sand. It's coarse, rough, and it gets everywhere. Who cares? What?
It's just so dumb. Like whose idea was that? And then they think that's flirty.
And then they go
like,
to the
what?
And then the next scene is them like in a like living room with a fire, and she's got the like weirdest outfit on. Where she's got like something like. Pretty much choking her, but
and then they're in the fields rolling in the grass. Like it's just so
he's like,
stupid.
He's like, I want you, and she's like, no, you can't.
Like I understand what they were trying to do,
and all of a sudden the battle of Geonosis, and she's like, I love you.
Like what? Where did this come from?
And he's like, really? I love you too. And then they kiss, and
then they get married at the end of the movie. I'm like, okay, this is extremely weird.
It's fine. Who cares? Everyone loves that.
Yeah, but I mean, we're just sorry. We're supposed to be talking about lightsaber duels, but like, we gotta talk.
Let's get to the last pick.
Yeah.
How about that?
Okay. All right. We'll get to the last pick.
So I would have had this earlier, but this is my favorite movie for all of Star Wars. Empire Strikes.
Oh no! I forgot about this.
Empire Strikes Back. Luke versus Vader.
Oh, no.
I love that one. It's my favorite movie of all time. Well, Star Wars of all time. We get the most iconic line of, like, almost all of Star Wars, where we get towards the end of Vader cutting off Luke's hand. Luke's, like, in a tough situation. He's about to fall to his death. But... we get
the greatest plot twist in cinematic history.
You're like, I'll never join you. Darth Vader wants him to join the dark side, kill the Emperor so we can take over the galaxy. I'll never join you, but we get Vader with Luke saying that Obi-Wan told him, you killed my father. And he says, no, Luke, I'm your father. It's the most iconic line of Star Wars. Pretty much, probably the most iconic line.
It's the greatest plot twist.
Besides you nerf herders.
But no, the greatest plot twist in cinematic history. No, I am your father. Like, nobody ever expected that. What's great about that fight is the whole time you have Vader toying him. Once they get to the railing, like, Vader means business now. Like, he's going all out. Yeah. Which adds even more testament to what happens in Episode 6, where Luke's now at his level. So,
yeah.
I can't believe I didn't pick that.
Right. My favorite movie of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't pick that.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm upset. So my very last pick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with. This is, I think, an underrated one. I'm gonna go Maul and Savage Opress versus Sidious.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's underrated as hell.
I think it's very underrated because you have Maul now. He feels like he's at the top of his game now. He's taking over Mandalore,
which he is,
with his brother, and then all of a sudden, Maul senses that presence of his old master coming in, and then you have Sidious walk in, choking out 2 Mandalorian guards, and then the duel that persists after that is absolutely amazing. You just have Sidious toying with both of them the whole time.
They show the true power of Palpatine.
Like, they did.
Finally.
The true power of him,
And it's that's like prime Palpatine. Like, you get to see it finally, besides Yoda versus
And it's scary the whole time. Like, you actually worry for Maul. Like, you're not supposed to like Maul. He's an evil dude, but like
you worry for him.
You worry for him. Like that's a scary thing. Like the music to in the background as well, and it's also like greatly animated the way it's choreographed.
No, Clone Wars has some great animated fights.
Yeah,
which I love it so much.
Yeah, so
that's a great pick.
I'm gonna take that as my number 5. I thought that was a pretty good draft.
Yeah, you definitely won, but I enjoyed the underrated picks that I had. But we can do a quick recap, obviously. But
you really want to get this done because I just smacked you, man.
Yeah, whatever. My first one was the Twin Sons, Maul versus Kenobi and Rebels. Second, Obi-Wan versus Vader in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Third, I had Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul. I had a lot of Darth Maul ones.
You did have a lot of Darth Maul.
And yeah, because again, Ahsoka versus Darth Maul in The Phantom Apprentice of Clone Wars Season 7. And The last one, Luke versus Vader, Empire Strikes Back.
I still can't believe we let the Empire Strikes Back one go by.
It's fine. You didn't pick it, and it's my favorite movie, so move on.
Wow, somebody's angry.
I don't care. That's bullshit.
So, and then with my draft, my first overall was Luke versus Vader in Return of the Jedi. My second was Anakin versus Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith on Mustafar. My number 3 was Ahsoka versus Vader from Rebels. My number 4 was Count Dooku versus Yoda in Attack of the Clones. And my last one was Darth Maul and Savage Opress versus Sidious in the Clone Wars.
Well, we all know I won this draft.
You definitely did.
So, you guys don't even have to even question this.
You never know. Somebody could vote for you.
I need a sympathy vote, please.
Sympathy vote.
I'll make a poll.
Yeah. You're not very strong with these drafts, are you?
I don't care. I enjoy the ones I like.
I'm glad it's Star Wars month. I feel like we had, there's a lot to talk about. And it's made me want to do, some Star Wars, best characters or...
We could do another top 5 with our characters and stuff. Yeah.